Hi, I'm Anderson Cooper, and tonight we'll be talking about the case of Worcester versus Georgia. The origin of the Cherokee tribe can be traced as early as the 13th century in what is now east of the Mississippi. In 1830, however, Congress passed the Indian Removal Act. Within 2 days of the law's establishment, President Andrew Jackson signed the law which granted the president power to negotiate removal treaties with Indian tribes living east of the Mississippi in exchange for land in the west. Meanwhile, legislators passed a law which implemented restrictions that prohibited non-Indian Americans from living in Indian territories. Although non-Indian Americans were prohibited to live in Indian territories, only non-Native Americans with a certain license from the federal government were allowed to live on these lands. Tonight we will be going to tell you of a missionary who refused to move from these Indian territories, as well as apply for a license. His name is Samuel Worcester, and as a result of his actions, the National Army arrested him along with 6 other people. In consequence, Worcester appealed his charges and took his case to the Supreme Court. And this is a picture of Worcester.
Brother, I now know that my duty as a follower of Jesus Christ is to spread his word to you, the people, the Cherokee people. And knowing this, I've realized that your duty as children of God is to accept his teachings. So leave your wicked tendencies behind and follow our one and only Savior, Jesus Christ. What may I do for you, sir?
Hey, you can't be here. You have until March 1st of 1831 to obtain a residence license, or you're going to have to leave this godforsaken place. You understand?
Yes, sir. I understand.
Hey, you're still here. What are you doing?
I'm spreading my word of God.
I'm sorry, but you're under arrest. Whoa! Alright.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Alright, gentlemen, stay your business.
I was unconstitutionally arrested on Cherokee territory for simply spreading the word of my Lord.
I praise your work of the Lord. However, I warned you before about being in that land. You have to have a license.
Is it defying the law if I'm simply spreading my Lord's word?
Do you understand the consequences of your actions? You could create tensions. You could increase tensions between the American people and the Cherokees.
I've come to a conclusion. Representative, it looks like you have forgotten your place. You need to remember that your only business is to enforce law within the territory of Georgia. I hereby declare the case closed, and Worcester is innocent.
In the end, Worcester was free, and John Marshall asserted his opinion that the Indian nation was a distinct, independent political communities retaining their original natural rights, concluding that Cherokee tribes constituted as a sovereign nation. Although the U.S. Supreme Court ruled in the favor of the Cherokees and how the federal government had the power to deal with Indian affairs, but individual states had no authority over this matter. President Jackson did not enforce the verdict. Instead, Jackson called for the Cherokees to relocate under Georgia's jurisdiction, since he did not recognize the Indians as an independent nation. In 1833, Georgia elected a new governor, and his name was Wilson Lumpkin, who encouraged Worcester to accept a pardon. Lumpkin then influenced Georgia's legislature to nullify the law that convicted Worcester. As a result of this case, Worcester was freed on January 1833 and accepted the pardon. Missionaries terminated their Cherokee campaign, and the decision of this case gave the Indians an upper hand against state on local encroachment. 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, gentlemen, state your business.
I was unconstitutionally. Michael, stop!
John, why do you always laugh?
Why, that's